back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. Today we have the stinker meter for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. A movie I was so excited to see. Like, I was literally counting down like the days, the months, the hours on the day of. And then I finally saw it last night at midnight. Oh, I was so hyped for this new superhero movie. And it's really good, let me say that. And I do want to say before we get started today, this is a spoily review, so beware. If you haven't seen it already, go see it in theaters, IMAX. If you're safe, of course, if you're not sick. But yeah, spoiler warning again, and let's just hop right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna just state some of the bad stuff right off the bat, and then we'll get into a lot of the good stuff. Then maybe some more bad stuff at the end. I'm not gonna be going over like the whole plot of the movie or anything, but we'll just be jumping around, doing my usual thing where I have this isn't written out. I have no idea what I'm gonna get into here, but we'll just hop right into it, okay? Okay, so for some reason, given like the vibes of the trailers and stuff, I was expecting a little more of like I don't know, a more serious Marvel movie. Even my reaction, I think I reacted to the first trailer for the movie. I thought it was going to be super serious, and then at the end, they like teased some Aquafina that she was like doing a joke at the end, right? And I was like, okay, so this is still going to be like a classic funny Marvel movie, right? But I still went in expecting more of a serious film here. But nope, it's just a normal Marvel movie, of course. So there's a lot of jokes, a whole ton of them. Some of them don't fit. That's kind of one of the bad parts about the movie. I mean, Marvel movies are my favorite movies, right? A lot of jokes land in Marvel movies. That's what I love about it. They're not just like there just to be there. They don't ruin the experience at all. But in Shang-Chi, I don't know. Let's talk about it. I don't think a lot of the jokes in Shang-Chi landed. It's very weird because I really enjoy the characters and I like them being funny and all that stuff. But for some reason, like Aquafina, I went in thinking she was gonna be super funny. Everyone hyped her up so much. Like, she's a really funny comedian, right? I've never seen her in anything else. I'm sure she is a really funny person, and she was really funny at certain parts of the movie. But I feel like there was too many jokes in this. I felt like I wanted it to be more serious. And there are times where it is a very serious movie. It deals with a lot of like family stuff, kind of like Black Widow. You know, the family elements are there. But then it just like throws in a joke at times. And especially when it's Aquafina doing it, she feels a little Disney Channel-ish to me. Like, she will say the joke, the camera will stay on her, she'll like smile or something. And then it's like waiting for like a laugh track or a clap track or something like that. Some of the jokes just felt like Disney Channel-ish, kind of like that, if you know what I mean. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, but like some of the jokes they didn't land, they didn't fit in the themes. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, but like some of the jokes just didn't fit or didn't fit the theme of the scene of what was going on. They felt a little out of place. However, the more subtle jokes, they landed a lot better with the audience. For example, at the beginning of the movie, when like you're seeing this, you're hearing this epic music playing, right? This epic rap music. You're seeing this Lambo or some kind of car. I don't know cars. I forgot. I saw it last night at midnight. Okay, I don't remember. But this really cool sports car, red, pulling up. You think Shang-Chi's about to hop out of it? Maybe you're just like, it's like hyping up this new superhero in the MCU, right? He hops out. It's not Shang-Chi. Camera pans. There he is working as the valet parker with Katie, right? Aquafina's character. Like, those jokes landed. The ones where it was trying too hard or not fitting the theme of the scene or any of that stuff, those ones didn't work as well. I'd say about like 50 or 60% of them did, which isn't a good number. But maybe it's... I said the same thing with the Suicide Squad as well. So maybe it was just like the audience here. I don't know. Let me know your experience in the theater, but I feel like a lot of the jokes where it tried too hard to be funny weren't funny, but the subtle ones did work a lot. There's another one kind of like this where it's another car one. Weirdly enough, our crew here is finally pulling up to like to Ta Lo, the hidden village. And they're pulling up in like this Subaru or something, and it's showing all these crazy Chinese mythical creatures and these people of the village with dragon scale armor, dragon scale weapons, like glowing on fire weapons, and they're all just lined up. And then the camera pans, and then you just see like a muddy Subaru just pulling up to their village. That stuff is funny, but when it tried too hard again, especially some of the Aquafina stuff, it just wasn't as funny. I don't know. But it's just funny seeing all the villagers in Ta Lo, all their reactions to like just a Subaru pulling up, you know? I don't know. There were just too many times where it was too serious in a scene, or not too serious. It was perfectly serious enough in a scene, and then it would get interrupted with a joke or something like that, which Marvel does a lot, but for some reason it just didn't work as well in Shang-Chi. A thing I liked a lot that was really funny was every time they like traveled somewhere, like they hopped on a helicopter to go to China, or Wong at the end of the movie when he creates a portal to get Shang-Chi back to the Sanctum. They just always, it's just funny seeing how they treat Katie, Awkwafina's character, throughout the movie. She always comes with him. I don't know, that's really funny because they treat her just like she's also Shang-Chi. They treat her just like she's a superhero as well, even though she's just a normal human. It's just hilarious that she has like absolutely no skill whatsoever. I mean, she kind of does, but she basically has no skill, and she's just as important to come to the Sanctum and all this stuff as Shang-Chi is. They just bring her everywhere for some reason. But yeah, I love how they stick together the whole movie. I like the relationship between their characters. Okay, and another small gripe I have with the movie, and I can't wait to see other reviewers and reactions to the movie to see if they felt the same, but something felt very off when watching the movie, and it was the pacing. Or the jumping around super quickly, or scene swapping. I don't know exactly what to call it, but I feel like a lot was cut out of certain moments, or just certain scenes that just switched way too abruptly, or felt off at certain moments. For example, when Shang-Chi slays the giant soul eater dragon monster type of thing, he does that, and then instantly the scene just switches to nighttime, and it's just like so abrupt, and they're all doing the Chinese lantern thing for all the deaths of everybody they lost right there. It was just like super abrupt, that switch especially, and then they just had like no time to breathe, no time for the characters to do anything. It just like he slays it, and it swaps, and it's nighttime. They're giving out the Chinese lanterns for all the deaths. It kind of felt like an episode of like a show, and it had 1 minute left to wrap everything up, and instead of wrapping everything up, it just they kill the bad guy, you know, and it just boom switches. They're all celebrating Ewoks hopping around in the forest. No time for the characters to breathe, no dialogue of anything wrapping up at all. But yeah, I just had to point that out. This happens a couple times in the movie, not just for that one scene that I'm explaining. I don't want to point out every time it happens, but I just thought I should point that out. I definitely think it could have benefited from being like a little longer at certain moments with the characters. It was already a pretty long movie, but like just maybe take out some of those jokes that didn't land, and then like put in more breathing time. I don't know. It's just so weird when you destroy the villain or do something and then jump cut, completely different time of day, all this stuff. I don't know, felt off. Felt like there was definitely stuff they cut out. I don't think that was the writing fault or anything like that. I think they just cut stuff out and edited it kind of weird. I think that was an editing error. I think it just tried too hard to wrap up quickly when they could have had an extra 10 minutes of character time. I don't know. Now for what the movie does right and all the great stuff in this film. Now when I say they should give more time to the characters, I especially mean Tony Leung as the Mandarin, or I mean the real Mandarin, or Wenwu. Such a great villain. One of those like Thanos-like, Kingpin type, Punisher type villains, you know, where you can really like agree with them. They think, or maybe not agree with them, but they think they're doing the right thing, and you can see that they think they're doing the right thing. You can see where they're coming from. You can see their side of the story of they're not just doing this to be evil. That's just stupid. When a villain is just doing something to be evil, it doesn't work out most of the time. Most of the time, that's a pretty bad villain. His whole reason for being a villain here is out of love for his family and his wife, especially. I just really enjoyed his character a lot. I love how he's doing this for the right reasons, you know, just in the wrong way. He's being brainwashed, basically, mind controlled in a way. He's also just like super cool looking, even just like walking around with the rings in his pocket and his tux. He just looks like an absolute Chad with the rings, you know. And since he has like 1,000 years of history or more, he's been around for a very long time. He's not just like a 50-year-old dude. He's very, very ancient. Ancient. I always say ancient. It's ancient. I mean, not that ancient, but you know, he's pretty old. I'm hoping to do a whole spin-off series with him, like maybe a prequel to how he got the 10 rings in the first place. It was said in the movie he might have found them in like a tomb or something, but we don't really know where they exactly came from by the end of the movie, which will be explored later on. But I'm hoping to do a whole spin-off where either he's getting the 10 rings and his first time like using them and finding out their power, or maybe one where he's just conquering villages back in time, or the coming up of the 10 rings organization and all that. I I don't know. They could do a lot with this character. I think a lot of people are gonna really like him, and they might want to explore the past with him. But at the same time, I also just really like the modern Wenwu character in his tux and all that, with his family elements and all that. The old, like, ancient, long-haired version of him that's not in his fancy suit and without the love for his family and all that, I don't know if it would be as good as the current modern one. He would just kind of be a guy that has the 10 rings and he's just evil to be evil, right? It wouldn't be as good if they did a prequel, but at the same time, I really want to see it. It's just he wouldn't have his family elements there. He wouldn't have any love for anything. He'd really just be a dude with the 10 rings destroying towns. But, you know, I'd still like to see it. But again, yeah, Tony Leung as Wenwu, moi, perfection. I definitely think he'll be in a lot of people's top 10 or even maybe top 5 Marvel villains. Now, on to the main funny man, the dude on Twitter that I follow, who's very funny, by the way, Simu Liu. That's not how you say his name, but I'm going to say it that way. I think it's like, I don't even want it. He said on TikTok, he made a TikTok about it. You shouldn't be trying to pronounce his name in the correct way because it's not going to sound right either way. So I'm just going to call him Simu Liu. I'm pretty sure it's even like Liu Simu. I'm pretty sure it's like the other way around. I don't even know. But he plays Shang-Chi, of course. A very relatable character, but at the same time, you know, not really at the same time. Not that relatable at all, actually. Him and Awkwafina's character, Katie, are kind of like a dynamic duo in this movie, so I feel like I gotta talk about them together. Katie is the relatable one. Shang-Chi just like steals all her energy, you know. He's playing a role as Sean in the movie, at the beginning of the movie at least. He got all his character from growing up in California with the name the name Sean, and he became friends with Katie, and they're basically the same person because who else is he gonna like? He's trying to blend in with society, and when he's with Katie, of course he's gonna be more like her. So them together are basically like the same person, Sean and Katie. Shang-Chi playing his hidden identity as Sean. Him and Katie they don't got their lives together at the beginning of the movie. Or maybe even at the end. Yeah, no, definitely not at the end either, actually. Probably even less together now. But really, they both don't have their lives together. They're valet parkers. They get drunk every night and karaoke the night away. And yeah, they don't love themselves. But they act like they love themselves, you know? They're like, there's no better job in the world than valet parking. And you know they're just so full of it right there. They don't like their lives, basically. They doubt their abilities to do anything with their life. But they find themselves in this movie, you know? They do. Kind of. And then they get Wong in on it at the end. If you haven't seen the movie and you have no idea what I'm talking about, well, you gotta go see the movie. But yeah, basically they're children living the dream life in an adult form. No cares in the world at all. But then boom, Sean runs into trouble on a bus. We get the best hand-to-hand combat fight scene in the entire movie, which was like the first fight scene, by the way. I don't know if people are going to agree with that, but at least the music during that fight scene, that was the best. I think that's Run It from the Shang-Chi album. Is it an album? I don't even know. You know, the Shang-Chi playlist. I think the song that plays during that is called Run It. It's very good. The fight scene, very, very good. But yeah, Sean runs into some trouble on the bus, shows off his true identity to Katie as Shang-Chi, and destroys everybody. He beats them all up, does some flying ninja kicks. He does it all. He's the best fighter ever. And then that's basically where the movie starts. And then it starts getting very, very fast paced from then on. Razorfist is also introduced in that scene. Not a very good character. He's kind of cool when fighting, but like they don't give Razorfist any time to develop. If you're expecting to see Razorfist develop at all, he doesn't. He even has a stupid joke in the third act that wasn't funny. I felt like it was a very cringy joke that they pulled off right there. You can see it coming from a mile away, and I don't know, it didn't work. But you know, they get Razorfist's car in the movie, so his car came in clutch by the end of the movie. And that's also another thing with the movie. I felt like some of these characters were going to develop a little more, but maybe that was just my expectations. I thought Razorfist would be a little more of a character. I thought especially the painted face person that trained Shang-Chi when he was a kid and a teenager and then came for him later on. That like painted face person, we don't know if it's a girl, we don't know if it's a guy. I was trying to make guesses in the movie, like maybe that's his mom and the dad is actually a very evil person. He put the mom in there to train him and to like whip him when he's little and all this stuff. But then we figure out later on that he's actually looking for the mom this whole time in the movie. So that's when that theory went away. But I was guessing that a little bit in the movie. But yeah, that painted face person, they don't develop at all either. They just they just instantly die in the third act. But yeah, maybe that's just my expectations. I thought we would figure out who that person is or something. I don't know. Yeah, Razor Fist, not really a character at all. No backstory, no nothing, no reason that he's like the main Ten Rings dude, the main sidekick of Wenwu. Yeah, I don't know exactly. They didn't really develop him. We later run into Shang-Chi's sister, Xialing, played by, I can't pronounce her name, but Meng'er Zhang, I think. Another great character and the future leader of the Ten Rings, by the way, if you didn't see the second after credit scene, or post credit scene. An excellent fighter, I think close to or on par, probably not on par, but close to the strength of Shang-Chi. I'm pretty sure Shang-Chi is supposed to be like the ultimate martial arts fighter out there, or whatever fighting style he's doing, just the ultimate fighter. The only reason she won in the ring was because he wasn't fighting back at all, but we still don't know exactly how powerful she is compared to him. But yeah, an excellent character in the movie. Can't wait to see more of her as the leader of the Ten Rings in the future. Or if the Ten Rings will turn good. And, you know, we got Wakanda over here. We got the Ten Rings over here. You know, they can develop technology together. I don't know. A lot can happen with the Ten Rings in the future. Could get a whole spin-off show, maybe. But yeah, the characters in this movie are all great. That's something I really like about the movie. The characters are all great. I was not expecting Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slattery in the movie, or Slatery. I'm pretty sure it's Slattery. And I wasn't expecting him to be in it at all, but he was in it a lot. Once I saw him as well, I wasn't expecting him to be in it that much, but he was. He does have some pretty funny moments as well. One of the comic reliefs of the movie. Let's talk about the flashbacks. The flashbacks in the movie were amazing. They gave a lot of depth to the characters, so much needed depth and insight to their backgrounds. So I appreciated those scenes a lot. As long as they weren't getting like interrupted by a joke, which did happen in the first flashback. I think it was the first flashback. One of the flashbacks gets interrupted with a joke, which wasn't really that funny of a joke. Again, some of the timing with some of the jokes didn't hit too hard. I really liked when the movie was being serious and being very heartfelt and showing a lot of depth to the characters. When it gets interrupted with a joke, it didn't help it that much. I wanted to see more of the flashbacks and less of the interruption with jokes. Also, another thing I noticed during the flashbacks, the teenager that plays teen Shang-Chi, he is going to be playing Zuko in the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series. So just a little fun fact I noticed. I saw him there. I was like, wait, I recognize him. And it slowly built in my head. I was like, that's the kid that's cast as Zuko. So fun fact for all you Avatar people out there, this actually reminded me of Avatar a lot. Like the airbending that was going on in this movie, definitely reminded me of Avatar: The Last Airbender. But yeah, fun fact there. There you go. Fun fact of the day. That will be Zuko. Oh yeah, and another thing that was kind of bad with the movie, the main thing I noticed that I didn't like, because comedy, it doesn't really matter. It's hit or miss with a lot of people anyways. So comedy doesn't take off too many points at all. But something that does take off points is the strange timing in this movie for a lot of things, and a lot of plot armor as well. Just like lucky timings that happen way too much in this movie. Like one of the first times I noticed it was when they're in Xialing's arena and they pull out this postcard, right? This note that Xialing apparently sent to Shang-Chi. And then she's just like, oh, I didn't send you that postcard. And then he's like, wait, then who did? And then the alarms go off and all the Ten Rings people are breaking in. It's like the most perfect timing. It's very annoying to watch. I don't know. I hate that kind of stuff. I don't feel like that happens in a lot of other Marvel movies. Maybe it does. There's a lot of plot armor in Marvel movies, of course. A lot of strange timing. But that one, oh, I was like, I didn't like that at all. And that happens a lot also in the driving scenes of the movie. Like they're about to hit this barricade, but earlier Shang-Chi said, turn right when I give you the signal, even though he wouldn't even know where they're at when they're going to turn right. But she was going to hit the barricade anyways, but then she turns right at the perfect timing. because he said so, but if he didn't, they would have hit the barricade anyways. There's weird stuff. There's some weird timing. Also, I noticed in some scenes, like, they would be holding something in a way, and then it would switch to a character's face, and then switch back to that person, and they would be holding it in a different way, and there's a lot of weird stuff like that. I think it's just because it might be something to do with, like, COVID in their filming. They're not, like, perfectly in sync with all the scenes. It's the editing. I swear, it's the editing of the movie that feels off to me. It has to be the editing. Except for some of the perfect timing stuff, of course. Like that postcard scene. I didn't send you that postcard. Then who did? Alarms. Boop, boop, boop. You know, that's annoying. There's one where they're driving in the garage and they're about to hit a wall and the door opens perfectly in time. Boop. It's like so split second perfect. I hate that kind of stuff. I don't know. That might not annoy people, but it's kind of weird to me. Perfectly imperfect timing, plot devices that save characters for unknown reasons. I don't know. It's just all pretty annoying together, but it doesn't take off too many points. I really, really enjoy this movie. I feel like I have to say that because I am saying a lot of negative stuff, but it's stuff that like barely takes off any points. You know? I think this is a great Marvel movie. Top 10 for sure. But yeah, overall, a little short recap of all the stuff we said. Too long, didn't read. The movie has a lot of heart in it. It's very well-rounded as well. Like the story. The story is well-rounded. The editing, not so much. The villain is excellent, and I can't wait to see more of these characters in the future. All the characters are fantastic. The music is amazing. The world building and the future possibilities for the MCU and all this crazy stuff in the MCU. Also fantastic. Bad things in this movie were some of the comedy, the pacing, the plot devices, plot armor. That's about it. And overall, plugging this into the stinker meter, I'm giving it a solid 85% or 8.5 out of 10. That leaves with about 15% stinkiness in this movie. Again, probably just 5% for some of the comedy not landing, 5% for the plot armor and plot devices. Or plot armor, plot devices. You know, 15% right there. A very, very solid movie. I definitely recommend going to see it in theaters and IMAX. That's how I saw it. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and hopefully I didn't miss anything in the review. I probably did. I wasn't going to do a full recap of every single scene or name every character. Again, I love the relationship between Wenwu and his wife as well. I didn't mention her, but they have a great relationship throughout the movie. I really, really liked seeing him happy. Seeing Wenwu happy. Dude, when you can see the villain being happy, that's nice. That means it's a great villain. Yeah, but leave your thoughts about the movie in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think about the movie, what you rate it out of 100 or out of 10. Leave a like, subscribe, and that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video.